For this video, I've decided to do a bit of a doubleheader since both SuperCoach and NBA Sportsdeck lockouts have ended. I'll go through the NBA stuff first because that's all pretty quick and straightforward. So if you have no interest in this and you want to go straight to the SuperCoach stuff, then just skip over to whenever the SuperCoach chapter starts. Should be time-stamped. But week 21 of Sportsdeck was really good. 1,186, 22nd for the round. We're up to 56th overall. Yeah, couldn't ask for much more from the team. Goes without saying, the majority of scores were really good. The superstars did their thing. Jokic and Embiid 149, 147 respectively, even though they both had a pretty rough last game. LeBron doing LeBron things. Big Cat, he dropped 60 to start the week against the Spurs. That was unreal. We brought in Book instead of Shea, and that worked out because Shea missed the last game against Orlando. DeJounte, a pretty rough last game against Golden State, but we take a ton in 4. Trey unfortunately missed a game. Luka only played 3 as well. That's fine. Scotty Barnes, his 2 games against the Lakers carried his score. For trades this week, first off, DeJounte probably goes because the Spurs played 2. I think it's going to be another week where I don't trade anyone from my bench. Cam Thomas has tanked his value, sadly. We still have Isaiah Jackson at a really nice price to get a significant amount of cash from, but it just can't happen this week because I want to fix a couple of the on-field options in Book and Scotty Barnes. So that's what I'll most likely do. And into the team, first off, Kevin Durant, absolute must. 24 mil for 2 players. I'm thinking James Harden perhaps. We'll have to see if he plays tomorrow. There's always the possibility he could rest a back-to-back, but we'll bring him in for now. And then the third player we bring in, I was thinking Jordan Poole. Very risky option for grand final week of Sportsdeck, but Steph's out until the playoffs. I don't mind it. I'll have to think about that one. Maybe if I don't go Harden, I could go someone else. Let's see. Maybe I could try something like DeMar DeRozan, and then we'd have 11 mil. Yeah, it's not really enough for anyone. Yeah, we could go his teammate Zach as well. That's a possibility. I don't know. I think I like Harden and Poole better. Yeah, I'll really have to think about that one. But we'll stick with the original plan for now. James Harden, Jordan Poole in. We have 1.9 mil in the bank. Yeah, we'll stick with this. So this will probably be how the team looks heading into week 22. My apologies for the screen being a little too zoomed out. It's probably the best I can do with this new layout to show the full team. Any more zoomed in, and if I scroll down ever so slightly, it's going to do that weird thing where it just skips a chunk of the team. But captaincy will be on Joel Embiid unless I find out he's resting tomorrow against Miami. But because it's against the Heat, I highly doubt it, so we'll have the captaincy on him. But backup plan would most likely be KD. Schedule this week, as per usual, a lot of teams have 4, plenty of stars to choose from. Although I will say, Miami have 4, don't go anywhere near Jimmy Butler. He cannot be trusted. As for the teams that have 2, Clippers, Kings, Spurs. I think the most popular players from those teams would be DeJounte Murray, of course, Domantas Sabonis, and even De'Aaron Fox, if some of you still have him. So those players have to go this week. So the league grand final is going to be myself versus Lucas, a Dwight to behold. His team's been killing it the past couple of weeks. So this will probably come down to a missed game or something like that. It's going to be very close. I did get a bit lucky against Jabin because he didn't check Sportsdeck until a day after lockout because he thought he lost the previous round. So by the time he got to trading, his options were limited. So I might have gotten away with one there, but we'll take it. So that will do it for the Sportsdeck team. Good luck to you all for week 22. And let's move on to the SuperCoach team. Now, the SuperCoach team was just about the opposite of the Sportsdeck team. We continue our yearly tradition of starting off slow. I pulled a Chris Scott, made a couple of late changes, and at least for this week, it backfired. 2,218 ranked outside 40k. It's not good. We're not going to panic. It's round 1 of 23, but yeah, it's not good. I made 3 changes from the previous video, which I posted on Twitter. Those were Lloyd to Hinge, Baldwin to McGovern, which meant I had the cash for Raul to Parrish. Yeah. I was pretty happy with these changes, especially after Lloyd was ruled out. But then we all know how the round played out. On top of that, I made a couple of rookie changes. I wanted Nick Martin. I like his role a little more than the likes of Dixon and Hayes. So it was either of them out for Martin, and as you can see there, I went with Hayes out. I had a little more concerns over his job security than Dixon. Obviously wrong call. And then I went Hoff to Mitch Owens because of scoring power, and he gets a 2. Now I look back at these changes and I go Dixon over Hayes because of job security concerns, and then I go Owens over Hoff because of scoring power. Like, I don't know, wasn't thinking big picture. So now I've got to figure it out there. I definitely need Hayes in the team. But defense was led by the disappointment of Crisp and Whitfield. Short had a pretty nothing game but managed a 109. Hewitt, unreal in his first game for Carlton. McCartan had a shaky start in his first game in a while, but he got better as the game went on. Hinge had a good first half, but it looked like he switched roles with Dawson, and that froze him out in the second half. He was on the wing, couldn't really get near it, so that was unfortunate. And the bench, Gibcus, that's about what we expect from him. De Conning unfortunately went off with concussion, so I think that means he'll be out against Sydney. The midfield was led by the big guns, McRae, Miller captain, Neil. Parrish just the 99. It's not great considering we booted Raul for him, but I'll take it considering how poor his first half was and how poor Essendon played overall. Berry, very good start. 48 after the first break, 69 at half time, and he went backwards in the second half. Really disappointing, and it looked like he injured his shoulder late, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Horn Francis showed some glimpses of why he was picked first. Dacos was very good. Ward, not so much. Went off with injury at the end as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. Stevens, that's fine. McDonald did some good things. And obviously Mitch Owens might as well have not played. The Rucks, Gorn gave up 50,000 free kicks. Grundy was good. Dixon should have been Hayes, but we can't go back now. Gotta make some corrections. And the forward line, Dunkley and Butters, very good. Cogs, nothing special, but it's fine. McGovern had a really good first half. Took the majority of kick-ins, was intercepting everything, pulled off some pinpoint accurate kicks as well. Cooled off in the second half. He was off for a chunk of the fourth quarter with a minor injury. but I think he should be okay, so I'm not too concerned about him. Sherry's game was nothing special as well, but we take a 79. Rochelle was unreal, and the bench, Durden, very good. Nick Martin, obviously, unreal debut. 27 touches, 5 goals. I think we'll look to field him this week. I really wanted to keep Raul over Berry, but with 18k in the bank, I just couldn't. So I was really hoping fading Raul wouldn't burn me. But he did more than just burn me. He tried to delete the team. If I stuck with the team I had the previous video and just changed Lloyd to another defender premium, I can't say it would have been Hall, because I don't think I would have gone him because of the hammy stuff. But it would have been another defender premium there, no Hinge, or at the very least Hinge on the bench instead of Gibkiss. Raul would have been there in place of Parrish. Would have had Martin on field instead of McGovern or Durden, one or the other. Would have at least been 2300 plus. And then I wouldn't have been overthinking with the rookies either. Yeah, it just would have been a lot better. But my thinking on the changes was Parrish has the highest ceiling out of all the players involved in those changes. I was all for starting Parrish, and hopefully he bounces back next week, because he's a bit of a pod now in my side. So my rank kinda relies on him now. So for trades this week, I refuse to use the trade boost after week 1 of the season. So if everyone on field is healthy and good to go for round 2, I think my only trade will be Owens, Rochelle in the midfield, and we bring in Jack Hayes. And then we'll field Rochelle over Ward. If I had the cash, my second trade would be Berry to Raul, but 33k isn't enough, sadly. If Berry isn't good to go for round 2, I might consider doing this. Ward to Hayes, Berry to Raul. I know it's not ideal trading Ward. We've seen his potential in that Amy game. Although on the other hand, Mitchell and O'Meara weren't playing, and against North he was playing more outside, not ideal for him. Came off injured late. So I'd be fine sacrificing Ward if it means the funds to get Matt Raul. But we'll see. It depends on Berry's health, because obviously if Berry's fine, then I'll just stick with the first trade. And then maybe look to correct to Raul in week 2. We'll see how it happens. I won't make any trades yet. I'll just wait for team announcements and then chuck out a tweet when I do make trades. Captains can stay the same. Maybe Neil captain I might consider. We should have a loop this week with DeConning, or if I go my second scenario, which is Ward and Berry out, then Owens will probably be a loop because I can't see him keeping his spot. But at the end of the day, it's week 1 of 23. No need to panic. I know a fair few are trading out Crisp and Steele, which sounds a bit ridiculous, especially Steele. Crisp is a watch, but I think he'll be fine. I saw plenty of times where he was around the contest but just couldn't get his hands on the footy, so hopefully things will be better against Adelaide. But that will do it for now. Good luck to you all for round 2, and see you guys in the next video.